Jimmy?
Yeah.
What do you want, the Boboza song?
Yeah, after.
Or do you want me to tell you about
Paige is coming.
the possibilities of this show and how many possibilities it has?
Hi, Paige Vanzant. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. You're talking to Matt and Jim on UFC Unfiltered.
Hi, Paige.
Hey.
Congratulations on getting married. How long have you been married?
We got married in September, the end of September.
How are you liking it?
Oh, we love it. I mean, not a lot has changed for us, but just, business as usual, but it's been awesome.
It has. Did you go on a honeymoon or did you have to put it off because of fight schedules?
We had to put it off. My husband actually fought 2 weeks after our wedding, and then I got crazy busy just with work and life and stuff, and then I took a fight, and now he fights again in 2 weeks, so I don't see us getting a real honeymoon anytime soon.
Oh, so that's right before the wedding. So he was in training when you get married, so he can't enjoy any of the food at the wedding.
No, well, originally we thought he would be fighting the week before our wedding, and then so he would be able to, really celebrate and have a great time at the wedding, and then that one got canceled, and then he took another, almost like a short notice fight 2 weeks after. So he didn't really get to fully eat or enjoy the, all the food and cake and stuff at the wedding. He was dieting.
Oh, that stinks. Your wedding, everybody's partying, having fun, and you have to drink a water with lemon in it.
Yep. But, that's the fight life. We're used to it.
Yeah, I'm sure. You're 1-1 as a flyweight, and how do you feel? I mean, how are you? How is your body feeling? And with the lack of, I guess, weight cut comparatively.
I actually put on quite a bit of muscle for this last fight, so I'm still cutting. I'm not a small flyweight by any means. I'm cutting a significant amount of weight to make 125. I think my body just fits better at this weight class. It's a much more natural weight for me. Getting down to 115, I could make probably like 122 and be fine, but it's getting anywhere past like 122, my body just refuses. It's like extremely unhealthy for me. I can just kind of feel myself like deteriorating. So, especially once they took away, I think I only had 1 or 2 fights in the UFC, not very many before at 115 where they stopped letting us use IVs. So I tried to continue to make 115 without the IV, and that's really what the game changer was. I just couldn't do it and be fully rehydrated to compete.
Now, there was a photo taken of you after your last fight, a really nice photo against Rachael Ostovich, where, she's face down on the ground. I guess she's upset, and you are kissing her on the shoulder. That was a very a nice photo.
Oh, well, yeah, thanks. I mean, I guess in the moment, I didn't even realize that I had done that, but it's, obviously nobody likes to lose. I know what all of us sacrificed for this sport, and I know, I had a hard journey to get into the octagon, but hers, with everything she's going through, I'm not, I'm sure some of it we don't even know about. I know how hard that is to get through those struggles, to get into, a fight, and then the winning is great, but losing feels so much worse. So, I've been there. I know what it feels like, and I can feel for my opponents who lose.
That's such a nice photo, too. Like, that would be such an unpleasant photo if it was like Stipe and Ngannou.
Hey, that'd be unpleasant for you, but I might like to see that.
I guess so, yeah. In your shoes, maybe that would be a little bit a little bit better. Now, your broken arm fight against Jessica Rose Clark, I mean, it was an incredible... again, because it looked like you weren't using it much, so people speculated while you were fighting. But what was the recovery process like? I know you had it looked like you were getting better, and then you had to go in and get it done again. What happened there?
Yeah, and especially for that fight, it sucks because I've always been kind of a slow starter, and I really have a lot of success the longer the fight goes. So it sucks for me to break my arm, like in the middle of the second round. It was, frustrating. Especially I knew I had lost the first round, but the whole process to recovery, I had one surgery that was supposed to be the only surgery. They put a plate in my arm, and it was supposed to take typically 6 to 8 weeks to fully heal. Well, months go by, and I continue to go back and get CT scans and x-rays, and for whatever reason, there was absolutely 0% sign of healing. So 6 months went by, there was still 0% signs of healing, which means my arm didn't grow back at all. I still had a full fracture through my arm 6 months after the surgery. Wow. So inevitably, a broken arm for 6 months. So they go in, that's called a non-union. So I had to go in and they had to scrape away all the dead bone in my arm. They took a bone graft and some platelets out of my hip and filled the crack in my arm with some like live tissue and live bone. And then put a much, much, much bigger, more heavy plate in my arm that runs from the elbow to the wrist. So I have an awesome scar, the full length of my forearm now. So it was a much more intensive surgery. The recovery time for that one, the second time the surgery worked. So I thought 6 months after the second surgery, I was already fighting.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it really is.
Tell me about that back take. That was awesome. Now, and not for anything, Rachel was fighting a great fight too.
Yeah.
That was a great fight. Very, very strategic, and the techniques from the striking to the clinch. I thought Rachel was doing awesome, but she made one mistake when she tried that for that back take on you, and then booyah! What the tide turned. And drastically, like it was like she was like, I'm not gonna say, she was like a step ahead. She was doing very good with the as far as with the grappling, and then the one mistake, and you jumped on that back like a ninja. Is that is that something you normally do in training? That back take?
I mean, no, it's all situational. I mean, wherever a training goes, wherever the fight goes, you kind of react to what's going on. The first round, I definitely didn't put on the best show of my skill. But one area that people, some fighters have commented on it, or people who are, really big in the fight world, they understand the way I have matured in my fight game. During that first round, I made sure I was never actually in any danger. I was losing the first round, but I never put myself in a really risky position to try to get up. And that's something that I've done in the past, where I'll actually give up my back to try to give up, or I'll put myself in a really dangerous position to try to get out. And I was able to really listen to my coaches and my corners, and I could hear him the entire time talking me through what to do next. So it kept me a lot safer, and that's why I didn't take any damage from that fight. So moving forward, I can take another fight right away. As far as, the back take, it only takes a split second for me to really capitalize in a fight. If you give an inch, I'll take a mile. So that's kind of what happened in that situation. I saw an opening, and I really tried to capitalize on it.
And the arm lock, which was, oh man, it was so, it looked nasty because it looked so tight. Mm-hmm. Did you feel a pop at all of the arm, or?
Yeah, she actually was almost out of it. I was too high on her arm, but luckily I had cups like the glove. So with MMA gloves, it's a lot harder to get out of arm bars, especially with the way she was trying to pull out of it. So I was able to just readjust my hips and turn it to do like a face down arm bar. So I was able to readjust my hips, pull her back down, and I felt it pop a few times. So I felt her tap, and I figured that was enough to, let go and walk away with the win.
That's awesome.
And how are you settling into to being in Portland? I mean, are you loving it after having been with Alpha Male for so many years? How does it feel to be home?
Yeah, I actually do. I love it so much. This is the first time in my career where I can genuinely say I have coaches that would do absolutely anything for me. I've had people along the road that were amazing pieces to my puzzle and pieces to putting me together. But here I feel like I have everything I need all at one place. And I have, my head coach, Fabiano Scherner, he cares so much about me. And all my teammates, it's like throughout my entire fight camp, they were all sacrificing their schedule, their work schedule. There's no ton of guys at my gym who are able to be full-time fighters. So they would take time off work to come in and help me spar. They would take all that time off to get me ready. It's like having a team that genuinely really wants to see me succeed feels so, so good. So I'm loving it here in Portland. And, of course, I've cross-trained all over the place. But this is really where I fit for right now. I see myself fighting out of Portland for a while. And
we have a couple of fan questions for you. We like to get the UFC unfiltered. I wouldn't call them an army, but just say a smattering of people. Matt calls them an army.
I like to call them army.
Now, there are some questions here. Have you played the HTC Vive Pro, and how are your sinuses? Someone is covering both of Matt and mine's obsessions.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. I have not. done that.
Okay, that's a virtual reality video game.
Yeah.
And are your sinuses in good shape? Are you a good breather?
Oh no, I'm not a good breather. So I have had chronic asthma since I was 9 months old. And then I'm allergic to like pretty much anything in the environment. And so no, I've never been a good breather.
Now, can surgery fix that for you, or is that just like something you got to take pills for?
Pills for, I have inhalers, and then I have pills, and then me and my husband just started sleeping with those like night strips on your nose.
Oh, I love those.
Did help. Yeah, so married life, we were in bed by 9 o'clock last night with breathe strips on our nose.
Paige, I have a permanent mark on my nose. I mean, I'm older than you, so I've been doing breathe right strips for years. And when after a shower, I can still see the little outline on my. But at least you got married first. See, I'm single. I'm never gonna find a wife now with this stupid thing on my face.
Yeah.
Now, but they really do help a little bit. And here's a question here. Do you watch MMA? This is from Luis Cardona. Do you watch MMA? And if so, who is your favorite fighter?
I do watch MMA. That's pretty much, other than like The Office or like anything on Netflix, that's pretty much the only thing we watch is MMA. My favorite fighter, it's hard for me to answer that, but, one of my dreams in life would be for George St. Pierre to come back and have him be like the main event and I'll be the co-main event and we'll fight on the same card.
Now, what are you watching on Netflix?
Netflix, we're watching The Office. We just watched the whole we watch a lot of documentaries.
Sure.
So we watched the documentary on the Fire Festival. We just downloaded the Ted Bundy tapes.
Creepy.
Lots of documentaries, yeah.
You know what's really good too? I watched the Fire Festival. I still have my hopes up for this year, but there's the Andrew Cunanan story about the murder of Johnny Versace. That's like a 9-part miniseries that Netflix got a hold of. It's really good.
That's interesting. We're going to have to watch that. Yeah, we go through just all sorts of true crime documentaries.
I can't even watch like dramas anymore because things in like real life that happen are so much more, are worse and so much more interesting, and they're not made up. So it's easier to believe it.
That's true. Yeah, it definitely gets you thinking. When it's true in real life, it makes me think a lot more.
Now, BBinko22 said, how freeing was it to get all that information in your book off your chest?
It felt great. It was something a story had been writing pieces together for a long time. I mean, the whole process I felt was like really fast for me for it to come out. I put everything together, got it to my agent, and he was like, "Yep, we're making a book." So it got signed to a publishing company right away, which I didn't really expect, but it definitely felt good. So I'm really happy I was able to get my book out there, and I've had a lot of really positive feedback from a lot of people who have gone through similar situations.
Now, do you want to do another one?
I definitely would love to, but I think for my next, if I were to write another book, obviously the last one was my life from my childhood up until now. I don't have a whole lot to write about my life right now, but I would actually love to put out a cookbook.
Oh, okay, something totally different.
Totally different, yeah. A cookbook would be my next thing. I would love to share some recipes that I have.
And the cover could just be you and your husband smiling with breathe right strips. That'd be nice.
Exactly.
All right, Paige. Well, congratulations. It was really nice to see you again and fighting, and you looked tremendous. And that was a great fight. And it looks like your arm is 100%. So I'm sure we'll see you again soon.
It is. Yeah. We're talking with the UFC, and we should have a fight announced anytime.
All right, great. Good talking to you, Paige, and we're really happy you're back.
Yeah, Paige. Congrats.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right, see you later. Bye.